listening to those experiences, Lawrence, and also that you said or explained already before that already experiences in universities where people invite supervisors through ICT for PhD, master theses, and so on. Do you think actually that ICT may want substitute personal meetings also among people and groups even?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that this idea of a flipped classroom that was just mentioned by you, Mahesh, is a very nice idea. So that means that either physically, if you have to face-to-face meetings, then you will use this time really for interaction, for discussion, and not just for lecturing. So just delivering knowledge can be done offline, or say online. That depends on the perspective. Yeah, it can be done when the teacher is not, or the people you interact with are not present. But if you are present, then in a classroom, then there should be a true interaction, true discussion, discourse. So that's basically a very nice idea. So back to your question, Clemens, can we expect that virtual presence will really substitute physical travel in future, and to what extent? I think that's difficult to say. Currently, we are using all this technology on top of the old technologies. We are very often using new technologies just on top of the old ones instead of substituting, and this cannot go on forever. So what would have to change? I think several factors will be important to change that. One issue is certainly the price of CO2 emissions. So if there would be a price tag on CO2 emissions that everyone has to pay, and it's substantial, yes, it really reflects the external costs of climate change. If this would be the case, then I think we would look more closely on all the alternatives of flying or using cars, etc. Second, the technology itself must make huge progress. Again, what we are using today is not really nice. Actually, for example, in this setting we have at the moment, if I point somewhere, I can point out of the window. I see people there, but you will not. So if you were here, you could see where I'm pointing at, but it doesn't work virtually. So the whole pointing issue doesn't work. The second thing that doesn't work usually is eye contact. You know, that I'm sure that Clemens is now looking at my picture, but it looks as if he would look away from me.
Yeah.
Yes, this is. You have to look into the camera if you want me to feel looked at you. Looked at by you. So it's somewhat crazy. So usually we cannot manage these settings of screens and cameras in a really workable way. So I'm trying to look at my camera here, and then you think I'm listening to you, which is maybe not truly the case sometimes. So it's a bit strange, yeah. So these are all little things that have an influence also of the trust that can be built in communications, and that is why psychologists say that to build trust you need to meet physically, and that's why I think that we need better technology, or we have to live with a situation where we mainly meet people we already know virtually. We meet them virtually because we know them, because there is trust, and we can easily work together via such virtual platforms. Yes, or it must become really better, and it could be more fun in the future actually to have good virtual environments. Yes, so why should I virtually meet someone in his ugly office somewhere, or in an ugly hotel conference room? Yes, so why not meet together in a virtual environment that is really artificial, like in a game. You know, you can use maybe a cyber glass and some gloves, and then you are together in a virtual environment, and you can there meet other people that come to that event and maybe find some artifacts, like, for instance, for chemists, you could have huge molecules you can manipulate, or any virtual environment that can be played with, and this can make such a meeting maybe even more effective than a physical meeting, because you have additional options you will not have if you just meet at a table or somewhere at a hotel. And this is then maybe something that could start playing a role in future.
Maybe even very close future, isn't it? So we don't know. Yeah.
In the lab, this all works already, but there is sometimes a very long way from the labs to everyday culture, you know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and one issue that you mentioned, of course, it might also be the access to facilities, to ICT technologies, isn't it? Also, right?
Of course, the access is also an issue. So we should not, by these technologies, we should not create another digital divide. The opposite should be the case. So we should give those people access to knowledge and to networks who cannot afford flying around and chatting around the world always. Yes. We should also not forget the informal communication. Yes, we combined two conferences in Japan and in Switzerland just as an experiment. We combined them, including the coffee breaks, and we had tables in the coffee breaks where there were so-called kiosks with screens and cameras, and you could have the coffee break together, and this worked quite fine. So people accepted that. But we have to use such things and gain experience with it.
Yeah. Lorenz, about the coffee break, how did you manage the time difference?
We only had half of the day between Japan and Switzerland. Yes, so our Swiss mornings were the Japanese afternoons, and the other half of the day, the conference had some local content that was more interesting just locally. So we made a mix of international and local content. Yeah. Of course, people will usually not stay awake half the night or whole the night just to have to take part in virtual conference. But paradoxically, they accept to have a time lag when flying around the world, and it is not really healthy. Yes, but they would never accept staying at home and then changing their rhythm of sleep and waking.